Hi, and welcome to another episode of Convos podcast. It is Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Today I am excited because I have Coach Rich with me. Charlene, go ahead and tell everybody who you are and what you do.
So my name is Charlene Richardson, and I am the owner of Rich Rose Business and Consulting. I'm more like a laid-back wealth educator with a knack for like all things trucking, taxes, and government contracting. So I kind of like to get out. I love being like an entrepreneur. I'm like being I'm most definitely experienced entrepreneur with over 8 years of being out here on my own, paying myself. So I just basically come back and I'm just like, I'm here, I'm out here, and I just want to show people that it can be done. Like, whatever you think you can do, you can definitely do it. I am definitely proof that it can be done.
So tell us about some of the things that you've done. Okay, taxes, trucking, I heard a little bit of that. And then wait, one of the things that I heard you say just now in the intro was paying yourself. It's so important for entrepreneurs to decide what is the salary that they desire to make. Not how much money you want your business to make, but how much money do you need to make to survive, right? Because we have to realize as business owners, a lot of times when we just start off, or as entrepreneurs, when we just getting off the ground, we don't have the revenue or the income coming in to pay ourselves, right? And like you said, you've been doing it for 8 years. What have you dabbled in besides, of course, taxes, trucking, and how were you able to come up with what you wanted to pay yourself?
So it literally was like, how much do I need to survive? And that's how I started, because I quit my job. I did the most ghettoest thing. I just quit my job. Like, I'm tired of y'all. I am tired of this job.
That's most people's story though. Like most people is like, look, I either quit or got fired. You know what I'm saying? And like, I don't have a plan B.
Yeah, I did both. I quit and got fired. It didn't matter. Whatever story people want to say, I did whatever. I didn't go back to work. And for me, it was like I knew what I was making on my job. So I was like, if I could replace my income, then I was good. So it was crazy because my first year as an entrepreneur, I had surpassed what I had done on my job. So I was like, okay, let's go back to the drawing board. We need more money because what I was making on my job won't enough to begin with.
Right.
So then I was like, well, shoot, let's double it up. You know what I'm saying? Let's double it. Let's see if I can double it and put myself in that place to go from 30 to 60 and then from 60 to 100 and then saying, you know what, girl, you need 200,000-300,000 in order for you to be able to be the person that you need to be. It puts things in perspective for you. So you kind of got to start with where you at. People have that question all the time. When do you know you made enough money to quit your job?
Right.
Girl, when you know you made enough money to quit your job. Like, I did it so ghetto. I definitely would give myself, I would definitely put up 6 to 8 months in my savings of bills.
I think that's the right thing to say, right? Most people don't have a month's worth of income saved, right? So how they don't even see the vision of getting to 6 months saved and still saying, okay, now I'm ready to start this journey, or I'm ready to be an entrepreneur, I'm ready to go full throttle and pull a trigger on what my dreams consist of, right? Most people don't have that. The average person is struggling right now, even in this recession proof. Right, a lot of people are struggling. And I've been seeing some entrepreneurs talk about these subjects, and I like the thing about Convos I like is that we talk about the struggle, but we talk about the success too, because I feel like there's people out here struggling to get to success.
Yes, and it can be very, very hard.
It can be very, very hard. So, all right, so let's take them back a little bit. Let's talk about how we met and talk about how we've grown together and how we managed to kind of support each other's businesses through our journey. So tell them how we kind of met.
I met Dricka in New Orleans, the best place on earth. I don't know why I love New Orleans so much, but every time I go, I have met the sweetest people. And I think we were at a tax event with Unisha, and it was great. Like, I learned so much, but in that process of getting to know everybody there, just watching you as a person work, like every time I'm around you, I feel like, oh my gosh, Charlene, you're not working hard enough. Like, you can't, like, girls to always tell people that you can't, I ain't gonna let no crackhead outwork me. But baby, I can't let a Dricka outwork me, okay? Dricka, you be working, girl, and I'm trying to tell you, it's straight inspiration. And so, like, being able to collaborate with you, work with you, be able to be a part of anything that you have going on is a great thing, because it's just gonna motivate me to push harder, move harder, and get where I'm supposed to be at. It's like never gonna be competition between me and you. It's always gonna be elevation. Like, I'm looking to you, like, oh my God, look at what Dricka did. I'm like so happy for you. And so it's just like being able to put ourselves in that place. And it's like we've been knowing each other for what, 4 years now?
4 years now. Like, it don't even feel like 4 years, y'all. When I tell you we met at the Taste conference, it was like, okay, so where you get all this branded stuff from? I linked them up with Bree.
Yes.
What else we did? We did like a photo shoot, and then we did I registered for y'all trucking class, and then we had the event last year.
Yes.
We just been like back and forth.
We have really been able to collaborate together, and it's been good. Like, it's good to be like, I know Dricka in real life. Like,
yes. And I think so much like the little meme that been going on keeps saying competition is happening at the bottom. The people at the top are collaborating. When you step into a room with somebody that has done more or has seen more or has experienced more, their initial reaction is to bring you on to experience more. They're like, oh, you never did this? It's like, you never rode a roller coaster? Let's go do it. Like, that's what it feels like, just being around the aura of success all the time. Like, you have to be around. When you get in the room, don't just get in the room. Like, you have to work the room. You have to network with people. Me and Charlene both were shy, but guess what? We walked up to each other somehow. We was taking selfies. I never been to North Carolina before last year. We had a whole event in North Carolina with other professionals and bookkeepers, and just dropping gems and helping them catapult to the next level in their businesses, and just seeing like where they are from when they sat at the table with us, like just following those ladies and stuff like that. Like, we're doing a lot. Like, we're very impactful women. What do you feel like? Do you feel like a impactful woman is kind of like okay with dating a potential man, or the man gotta bring everything to the table? Like, because we kind of talked about it the other day.
I mean, I feel like
it was an off-camera convo. I mean, you could go as deep as you want, but I feel like it's a conversation that needs to be had, because I feel like women are bringing a lot to the table now, and it's making them feel like, girl, I don't need no man, girl, because listen, I got my role. What you feeling like?
I feel like it's kind of weird out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel like I need a man. I think that I want, I feel like it's a want type of thing. Mm-hmm. But, it's like, when you out here the way that we are, like in the entrepreneurial streets, everything is very, very unpredictable. So, of course, you don't really have time for the traditional, let's go out on a date type of stuff. You kind of like always like trying to like, what should I do next? Or should I do this? And you can't really trust people at a certain stage. And I'm kind of at that stage where you can't really trust people that much. Mm-hmm. And so I'm kind of like holding on. Like, God gonna bless me.
It's a wild ride. It's a wild ride.
It's a wild ride, Drake. It's a wild ride. Like, I don't know. It's kind of, the water ain't right. You know what I'm saying? I kind of need a Brita filter out here in these streets. So, I need to run my water through the Brita first. I need a Brita filter.
Lord, these men that you send down here, they're not working.
They're not working. They're a little broke. They're a little broke, Lord. Just a little bit.
No, wait, I'm so weak, because I keep hearing the same thing. It's like either they're not cutting the mustard, or it's like, if I could take a little bit of him and a little bit of her. And we talk, both of us talk to a lot of men, right? So we always are in we hear
what they don't tell other people.
Yes, what they don't tell people that they dating and people that they like or whatever. We hear the real deal, right? Because I feel like you said, trust issues, and two people with trust issues not gonna work. We already know that. No matter what type of relationship, what kind of lust, what type of nothing you got going on, it's not gonna work, because you're gonna feel insecure. You're gonna feel like they always doing. It's gonna be so many different things, and I feel like we kind of carry over. I asked that question really to kind of segue into what I was about to ask you. Like, I feel like in a dating world, it's something like we double dutching on and trying to hire people, right? Because we've both bring in people to our business, and we was like, okay, finally I get to be the CEO. I get to delegate. I get to tell you I need you to do this and do that and take some things off my plate. But is it really taking things off your plate, or do you still feel like when you actually trust somebody and put them in your business, do you feel like you can wholeheartedly trust them and let them take care of your business how you would take care of your business? Like, even if you felt like you trained them, you sat with them, you done all the things, and you still feel like, man, I gotta go back to the drawing board and start DIYing a few things, because
it's like, it's a little weird. Like, I thank God for the experiences that I've had. I mean, me and my ex still work together. Like, he still drives and stuff for us, and so it's just like, I trust him to do that. You know what I'm saying? I trust that, and being able to put yourself on the forefront, like, okay, I want to have people in my business that I can trust,
right?
But trying to put somebody that you dating into the mix is kind of hard. Like, because when you break up with somebody, girl, they don't want to talk to you no more. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm glad that me and my ex can still work together. I mean, money is money, okay? Like,
it can get real messy. It could get real messy.
It can, but you know what? I feel like being upfront and explaining where your boundaries are set. I think boundaries are the biggest thing. I find that boundaries are like one of the biggest things that I have learned to set this year. Like, being able to say that this is where this is where I'm drawing the line, and standing on that, and being okay. I find that this year is a good year for me to just focus on myself. And when I tell you that I focused on everybody else, I'm gonna try to help anybody get to a bag. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm willing to help anybody get to a bag. And I had to take a step back from myself. Like, you go hard for everybody
get to a bag.
You know what I'm saying? I'm helping everybody. Like, but who helping me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm giving free advice and stuff like that. So I realized this year, like, I gotta focus on myself. Like, what is Charlene pouring into Charlene? Like, what are you doing for yourself? And how can I do something to make sure that I'm always protecting myself at all times? Because you can get out here and people will make you feel some type of way about yourself. You'll start to feel insecure. Like, am I doing this right? Am I doing that right? But I blame my mother, because my mother taught me how to love other people, but she did not teach me how to love myself. And so that is where I am in this process, because she has always taught me how to love other people, how to be considerate of other people's feelings. But I have not put that same energy back into myself. And that's where the problem came in. So it's like, now I got more respect for myself to say, this is not working for me, or I'm not willing to date this person or that person. You know, I got little boundaries now. You know what I'm saying? You can make some choices.
I know that's right. I love that you have boundaries. I love that you're saying that, because I feel like right now, think about it. We're in an era of mentorship, coaching, life coaching, self-love, finding yourself, right? And I feel like a lot of women do grow up that way. Like, it's like, okay, no, you know, keep your head down, let stuff slide. Don't do this, don't do that, don't ask a man where he's going, and all these other different things that we are poured into as children. And it's like it carries over into adulthood, and we're like, as a mom, now you put yourself last. As a wife, you put yourself last. As a business owner, you pay yourself last, right? And all of these things, it goes into how your growth stages are matured, right? And I think that setting healthy boundaries up front is much needed. I think that's something that we've been talking about all year: boundaries, freedom, flexibility, saying no, like not just saying yes to everything and always wanting to pour into other people without having someone to pour back into us, because I think that is so important. Not just saying, oh, I'm doing self-care, y'all, look at my social media for 10 minutes and see my self-care routine. That's not self-care, because you're still trying to show people that you do. I mean, don't get me wrong, content is cool, but I feel powerful in my privacy now. Like,
that's like been my problem though. I find that I'm having a hard time with content, because I do want to keep a lot of things private. It's a lot of things that I should have public, but I don't. And it's because I absolutely love fishing. Like, girl, I literally go fishing like it's nothing. Like, but it's so private to me. Like, it's something that I like to do, but it's not something that I like to introduce other people to, like, this girl really be out here with boots on, out there with the snakes and stuff out here in the wood. Like, she's trying to be out here fishing. She really fishing. Like, I just enjoy that quiet time. No cameras, no nothing. Just enjoying. Like, I enjoy family. Like, those are the things that I love. Like, that's what I work for. I work for the freedom to go to the lake. You know what I'm saying? I go to the lake. I got so inspired about the lake. I love the lake so much, girl. I bought land at the lake just so I can go out there when I feel like it. Because
y'all heard that, huh? She bought land at the lake just so she could go to the lake house.
So I can go fishing whenever I want to. And that's what we do. That's what we work for. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I sit back and I think about, like, why I do certain things, I do it for the freedom to do the things that I like to do. And that, you know, that's another thing too. A lot of people don't talk about is doing what you want to do. And I honestly, before in my last relationship, girl, I literally I'm been such a compromising person that I was taking on things that they like. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what they like. So when we broke up, it was like, well, what do I actually like to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you even like that? And I realized there was so many things that I don't really like to do that I didn't really like. Like, I didn't even really like fishing in the beginning. I mostly like sitting at the lake, reading a book, not even the girl, I'm out there feeding the fish. But now now I actually like fishing, like, by myself. Like, I don't mind going by myself if I have to go by myself now. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like you trying to figure out what makes you happy. And the only way you can find that is in your own quiet time and in your own self-love space.
That's so interesting that you said that too, because the past, we have 2 more days left this month. The past month, me and my mentorship group have been waking up and doing 3 a.m.s, right? We've been doing a 3 a.m. challenge because I said, normally, of course, successful people wake up at 5 or before 5, right? But I said, let's do 3 because now you get to spend time with yourself. I'm not coming on live at 3 so y'all can be up waiting on me. No, we're not doing that. But you will have an assignment or a prompt, right, to do on that day. So we come back together and we talk about what have you gotten accomplished in those extra 2 hours you got out the day without having to wake up the kids, wake up your man, wake up the household. You know, like, if you just wanted to sit down, meditate, do a devotional, write a journal. Some people have not opened or written a journal until this month, like, in their entire life.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like going to school and doing like a do now or whatever. Somebody in the comments say love the challenge, right? So just think about, like you said, people don't know what it is that they like to do because they're so busy, like you said, always doing what other people want them to do.
Yeah.
My friends want to go to this club, so I'm gonna go to this club. My man wants to go to this trip, so I'm gonna go to this trip. And it's like, it's always certain stuff that you're doing for other people. Oh, my kids, I gotta do something for the kids. I can't keep on going on all these trips by myself without the kids.
Right.
And you gotta bring the kids somewhere. So it's always something that you're doing for other people. I think that it's so important that you set your boundaries. Make sure you're putting your self-love first. So that's what a 3 a.m. challenge kind of derived from. And we've been getting so many wins, like, just from it. Like, today I put a prompt in there saying, drop y'all wins for the week. We need to know, like, how is this challenge helping you? Right. Said it was able to help her hit her goal before the first week. Her monthly goal was hit in the first week. Another girl got a $2.5 million grant that's gonna pay her like a 6-figure stipend every month until 2.5 million. Another girl got accepted into a fellowship program. So it's like so many different things that people were able to focus on, like just opening up your emails and having time to read through the email, because you might have $1 million in your email and you ain't
never know it.
Now it's 2 weeks later and you just not opening that email. That's crazy. Like, we
not no money in your mail, not no money in the email. You ain't
money. It's money that you skipping over that's going to the spam and you ain't pulling it back. Come on, man. We could talk about this all day, but we know like what it takes. Like, we know we check our emails faithfully. We check our bank accounts faithfully. We have to sit down and run payroll. We have to sit down and talk to ourselves and say, okay, what's important today? What's on my to-do list today? Right? And when can I go fishing? When can I take a nap? When can I? It's certain things that you have to know that this has to get done before. Like, we just came from. I'm still on high from BT Awards. I'm still on high from I'm still on high from a photo shoot. And then boom, I gotta snap it to reality because tomorrow I got another speaking engagement. Right. So it's like you always on go. I'm like, man, I'm so done with June. I'm ready for June to be over with. Birthday.
I'm excited for July, but at the same time, it has been a whirlwind. I think after having surgery this past time, it kind of threw me down a little bit, and I was like, "What in the world?" And it kind of made everything seem a little weird. But I'm ready. I'm back. Like surgery weird.
Okay, and wait, I gotta plug this in too because this one thing that we didn't see. I said it a little bit. We kind of slid past it, but Charlene taught us how to get into the trucking industry.
Yeah.
Right. One of the things that Charlene is going to be talking about this summer with us in Toronto is how to get into the trucking industry. So all right. So first of all, we took the trucking class maybe 2 years ago. First year in the trucking industry, we hit we was like 15 short of 100K.
Yes.
Just because of the proper guidance. So one of the things we talked about off camera a little bit was truckless trucking. Can you give us some examples of truckless trucking, or how can we get into truckless trucking, meaning you don't have a truck, but you're in the trucking industry? Check this out, y'all.
So with truckless trucking, it's more in tune to you being able to do the paperwork to get them business started. And so for that, whether somebody came to me with the LLC or without, start to finish, we basically go ahead and we can get the whole process done in 3 days. And then of course they can start working immediately within their state, but within 30 days they can literally be over the road and going ahead, and we go through that process with them to make sure that everything is done right. But the amount of profits that we are able to make on it is because of us being able to do it correctly and get everything done. It has been able to put me in profit mode immediately with this one business, and it's not a lot of overhead for me, like no more than what it would normally be, as far as like internet stuff like that, but no real money that you got to kick out as far as expenses. So with truckless trucking, I find that it's something that you can do on the side that can bring you that extra revenue. I mean, our first year doing truckless trucking, I think we did like 50. We did about 50 new people that first year. That netted our business that was $87,000 right there, just doing truckless trucking. It's something that didn't take me long to do, didn't take a whole lot of days for me to do it or anything, but I was able to put my price on it. And the price that we offer is way cheaper than what most people charge. I was just telling you, Dricka, like, shoot, in Atlanta, they charge $2,500. We only charge it. So it's just like with truckless trucking, I cannot wait to bring it because I feel like it's something that anybody can do, like, on the side or something like that. Because a lot of times, like with us in Texas, girl, we meet so many people. You meet a lot of truck drivers. You meet company drivers that are anybody thinking about going into their own trucking business is somebody that is a client that you can work with.
That makes sense. So, all right, check this out. So before you got into trucking, before you got into Texas, what were you doing? Like, did you have a corporate job? Because I know you said you quit your job and you just went out.
Girl, it was the ghetto. I was a correctional officer. I was working at the max security male prison. And so, yeah, girl, I was in there like the color purple. All my life I had to fight. I got tired of beating on men every day. And so I got tired of fighting. Like, didn't I just tell you to go lock down? I ain't got time to keep playing with y'all. So it was, I was a correctional officer, but at the same time, I had created Snatch Me Baby, which was, I was selling waist trainers and butt lifters. I was selling tea. I had realized that I could sell stuff, and I was like, okay, so I might be able to sell.
That you can sell. That is a magic power. And let me tell you something. It's so funny. Like, not to cut you off, but I'm gonna
go ahead.
But when you say something about selling, I don't think that entrepreneurs realize that is a part of being a business owner. Like, I used to always say, before I got a coach, right? Before I invested in my first coach, girl, he chewed me out for this. And I used to say, I'm not a salesperson. Well, if you're not a salesperson,
what you here for?
You ain't gonna make no money. And I was like, what you mean? I just tell you what I have to offer. You either want it or you don't. That was my philosophy. And guess what? It was working for me until I discovered that I could sell, but I wasn't selling until I got the concept. But go ahead, my bad.
No, you're fine. And so that's what I did. I I had made $6,000 in 1 month with Snatch Me Baby, selling waist trainers and butt lifters. And I was like, yo, like I'm over here, gotta cuss these people out every time I go to work. I'm getting tired of this. Gotta be up at 3:45 because I live so far from my job. Every morning I was working 16-hour days, dropping my kids off. My mama saw my kids more than I did because I had to drop them off. They go to school. I'm at work. By the time I get off work, they get ready for bed. And I just wanted more for myself. And so I quit my job and became an insurance agent. So I went straight into life insurance. And
you stress me out when you say life insurance because, girl, I just feel like that is such a stressful job. Like just all the recruiting and it's stuff that we still do now with Texas, but it's like people already know in their mind they want to do Texas. I ain't gotta convince you. Like I ain't gotta come on here and tell you every day you want to do Texas. Come on, 3 more people that want to do Texas. Go get that. I can't.
Girl, let me tell you something. I am happy for where God has brought me because insurance is what laid down my real entrepreneurial foundation. Because when I started on my own, that $6,000 I made from Snatch Me Baby was gone. We ate it. Me and them kids ate that 6 bands because I ain't have no guidance, Dricka. I ain't have no guidance. And so when I was in insurance, I actually got actual guidance. I mean, I paid in percentage, like they didn't ask me to pay nothing up front to get a coach, but they gave me free coaching. But coaching was included with insurance. And so that's kind of what I took from insurance is that it laid the foundation for me because I don't do insurance anymore at all, but it laid the foundation as far as like how to deal with customers, how to be professional, how to showing up to a meeting, reading. That's when I started reading. I really started reading. What quit my job was that daggone Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I read that and was like, I'm burning the bridge today.
Yes. Baby, when I say highlight or be out, that's my favorite. And I done read that book several times, like as a kid and an adult. And it's like when you watch a movie, you get a different perspective every time you read.
Yes.
Like right now, we should be finishing up. We should all be millionaires in our book club within my mentorship. We finishing that up.
Oh, that sounds good. What's the what you say it was? We
should all be millionaires by Rachel.
I read that one.
Oh my God, you have to read.
I'm about to get it.
God, you have to. I'm
gonna read it because we should all be millionaires.
We should. And it's like one of those intriguing titles, but when you get into it, it's like you just talking to one of your homegirls, and she telling you about her friend that's making broke ass decisions and her friend that's making $1 million decisions. And you like, you know what, girl, I be making broke ass decisions too. I gotta read.
I be making some broke decisions. This ain't like I know I make good money, but shoot, sometimes I'll be making some broke decisions. Like, girl, what made you do that? Like, good and well that was not going to work. But we here. I'm gonna read it. That's like Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. Like I read that book and it has been one of those books that helped me a lot in understanding that you can't change the perspective of somebody that's broke. Like you can try your hardest, but if they don't see your vision, they're not gonna be able to do nothing with it. And so think like Secrets of the Millionaire Mind just let me know that, girl, you got to get out your own way. You got to unlearn everything that you learned and get back to the basics. You know what I'm saying? Come back full throttle.
Y'all better follow Coach X Rich, y'all, because guess what? Because guess what? If y'all not listening, we just gave y'all 3-4 books that you need to have in your library. I'm sitting on some books right now. Let me see what book I have right here.
If I ain't just moved, I would have had so many books up front of me to show you. Like this is, girl, I love that one. Like I actually bought the hard copy. Like, girl, I wish Michelle could have signed the book, but it was.
That's a good one. I got like a couple of different books that I read. So I'm in my book club. I have 2 other coaches that have book clubs, and I'm in another group that has a book club too.
I think that's lit. I need a book club because I love reading and I love being able to converse it with other people. You want to read something, you want to read it with somebody. It's like watching a movie. Like, girl, what you looking at? But it's hard to find people that read. Like, I know people don't read because they be asking questions. I'm like, you ain't read?
You ain't read that part? It was, listen, 20 pages a day. 20 pages a day. That's minimum, y'all. Like most chapters, not even 20 pages. So 20 pages a day, you can get through 2-3 chapters. I'm serious. Y'all got to get into some serious reading.
Or get you an audiobook. Audible.
I like audiobooks, but I don't. It just depends because some people can't read it audiobooks good. That's another story.
It's like I be listening to them. I like to listen to them because sometimes I find that it takes me longer to read them as the audio, but I listen to certain parts and I gotta go back. But it's something about the book because it's like I can visualize it in my head. Like, oh, this is what you're saying. I get it. But I do like the Audible too because like when on a long ride, I need somebody to talk to me.
Now, see, when I'm on a long ride, I'm gonna do a podcast. Like I listen to Oprah podcasts, but I like some of the ratchet podcasts too. Like I listen to Drink Champs and Revolt. I watch Revolt TV all day. Like it's a binge watching. Like I literally be watching them. Like, man, this is what I want to be doing too. Like, yeah.
I can see that. I can see that. It's very addictive. It is.
It is. Like my husband walking in the door, like, you still watching Drink Champs from this morning? Yeah, you ain't see this one? This the one we were for.
You ain't see this one? No.
No, for real. All right, so back to business. What made you shift from insurance to taxes? Like, how did you get into the tax industry?
Girl, so in my moments with insurance, girl, I had some broke moments there. Like once you jump into entrepreneurship doesn't mean that you just because you make good money don't mean you can manage it. I couldn't, I had a real bad problem managing money. And so even though I was making good money, I didn't really know how to manage it. And so girl, I was like, what I call myself, just ghetto, I was just a raggedy business owner. I tell people that all the time that I was a raggedy business owner. And so insurance, you got to kind of be on top of your stuff because a chargeback come, it could take you out. So I had already been like dabbling in taxes because the guy who did my taxes was like, come over here, you might like it. So I was doing a couple of hours there or whatever. And just being there with him, I started like noticing like, once I put everything in, it's not a whole lot that he doing after me. You know what I'm saying? Like the numbers ain't really changing a whole lot. So I was like, maybe I could ask more questions. So I started asking more questions. He started training me more, like teaching me more. And all while, and I also didn't understand the money aspect in Texas either, because I think, when you work for somebody in Texas, you ain't getting paid no more than $10 to $15 an hour. So
girl, when I was working under somebody in Texas, I was getting $75 a client. And so like the opportunities that we offer in the tax industry, people be doing 50-50, 70-30, and they looking like, girl, I had a girl come to me and she was on 70-30, but the company she was with was getting a 70 and she was getting a 30. I'm like, y'all getting ripped off in the game.
What? I wish. Like, I promise you, like, I'm ready to take it back to the basics for myself. But when I was doing taxes with him, like, I paid, that was me paying for mentorship. He was only paying me $10 an hour, but he was basically giving me the blueprint. And so once I met my business partner, Erica, it was like, she was like, girl, we should go into taxes. She had seen something. And I was just like, she was like, I know you do taxes. I'm like, yeah, I can do taxes. And like, I just didn't see where the money was at. Cause I had been working at this man's office getting paid $10 an hour.
Right.
So when I started looking at the documents differently, it's like he getting paid $475 for every return. My black behind probably did the majority of them. And I only got paid for an hour. Ain't no telling how many I did in an hour. You know what I'm saying? So, like, because it was lit. He had a high-paced office and stuff like that. So it was like, if I could figure out how to get the clients, I have the expertise, I could really run it up. And, coming with my business partner, it was like a game changer. Like, oh my God, like tax money is like a thunderstorm in that box. Girl, that thing dropped. Them drops come through there. You were like, what? Y'all gonna let me get this? Okay, so that made me crazy. Like, girl,
yo, we goofy, y'all. Like, don't.
I was like, oh, I like taxes. So it was more of the thing of being able to be a part of the tax industry and learning. And then once I did that, I started focusing more on me understanding money a little bit better, getting my credit right. Getting your personal credit is like the biggest flex you can ever do. Is when you start getting your credit right, all of a sudden everything matters. I don't want to be late for this. I'm not willing to do this because I don't want to mess up this. And so those kinds of things get put into perspective. And so that's what I did. So it's like I was able to start taking my tax money into going to other industries like trucking, being able to put forth that money up front when I did government contracting. Like you can do those kinds of things. So taxes was that gateway, that vehicle that took me to be able to start really seeing some money that could really that's gonna have them commas in there that's gonna really make a difference. Where I can say, you know what, I'm about to drop a bag over here and over here. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
So
yes, I
like
love that. I love that. And I feel like a lot of people don't wait for the transition. They just like, okay, so I'm making $10 an hour. I could just go work at McDonald's. I could just go work at wherever and make $10 an hour, or switch jobs or get a second job, versus taking some of that money that you're making from maybe an hourly job and saying, okay, let me invest into a class and say, now I can understand taxes. I can do more people's taxes because I have expertise and
right.
experience and credentials now. Or I can open my own tax office. Maybe I might not have the same influx of a high-paced office yet, right? But I'm going to build to that. As long as my process is right, as long as my clients feel safe, educated, feel like they can trust me, they can come back to me, they'll refer people to me. That's how you grow a business. That's how you grow a brand, right? And once you do that, no matter what you sell, people going to follow you. Like, people follow me from doing cakes, strawberries, lingerie, like working a job. Like, it's so many different avenues people could be following me from, but they still know me from when I'm working on one thing. They know me from that one thing. They ain't gonna know me from this, and have all kind of stuff going around. Like, they might know, oh yeah, she used to do all of these things, but they not calling me jack of all trades, because when I'm zoned in and I'm tunnel vision on something, I'm tunnel vision on one thing. So, I mean, can you tell us, all right, so now we know you did trucking, you did taxes, brought you to trucking, your trucking brought you to government contracts. What was that government contracting process like? Because a lot of people want to get into government contracts and they feel like, oh, all I gotta do is get these credentials and these certificates, and then I start signing up and I'm gonna win contracts and I'm gonna be paid and I'm rich tomorrow.
I'm gonna give you a nugget. You don't even need to be certified to get a government contract. And I think that's the biggest thing that a lot of people don't say, that you don't really need any certification, but you do need to be a legitimate business. And that's the biggest thing. I think that the faster you can legitimize yourself, the faster you can put your stuff out there. If you do videos, like Dricka, you got all these videos, you do videos, you put it out there, you can sell those videos to the government. You can sell them to your community college, a university, you can sell them to anybody. So like, it's like building your content up, putting on the forefront, having a business resume. It's those kinds of things going into government contracting. Like, I started out with just networking. Like, I was networking. A customer came in, I helped him, and guess what? He came back and he helped me. And so it's just like, I still had to go through the whole bidding process. I still had to create a proposal. We still had to do all of that stuff. It's just that I got it because I knew somebody. Like, it still put us in the same thing. I had to make sure that the business was legitimized. We didn't even have a website for that particular business, but being able to put ourselves in a place where everything was, we had everything right. You know what I'm saying? Our MC was straight, our LLC was straight, nothing was lacking. We didn't owe nobody nothing. So it was one of those type of things. When it comes to government contracting, everything that you need, the government is paying for. So if they're paying for it, why not go to them? I don't gotta call the government and ask them nothing about where they payment at. They telling me like where the invoice at, you know. And what I like about government contracting is it's so hard for people to tell you what they want. With government contracting, it takes that out. They give you a scope of work and they tell you exactly what they want. It's not like, you know, sometimes with clients, they be like, oh girl, I want you to show me how to get into government contracting. But then we get on the phone and you don't even have a legitimate business. So now we got to go back to the basics. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I thought this is what you needed, but it's not. Like, we got to start from the beginning with you.
That's when we go to the clarity of the discovery calls, because now we got to discover what you need and put you in that particular boat, in that particular program. Because I think a lot of times people see you have so much going on, not realizing that you built these things separately. Like, I didn't start trucking, taxes, and contracting in the same week.
No,
on the same day. You know what I'm saying? You had to build to get to that point. And I think that a lot of entrepreneurs don't, you know, want to build. They don't want to go through the process. They're just like, okay, how much do I have to pay you? And then they get lazy. Y'all cannot get lazy when it comes down to investing in yourself. I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions is, oh, I'm going to just pay for this, and then tomorrow I'll be an expert. No, you have to pay and get the experience. It's just like going to college. They're not hiring you right out of college because you have a degree. They're going to say, do you have experience? And if you don't have experience, they'll hire the person with experience over you because they have experience. And then you're just a basic college student with a piece of paper.
Right. And the experience, I tell anybody, like, I struggle with that too when, like, in the beginning of my entrepreneurial journey, because I did not have a 4-year degree. So I struggle with if I was going to be able to bring enough to the forefront. But everything that I have done has been straight experience. Like, I basically have more. I probably have a doctorate at this point in entrepreneurship. Call me Dr. Richardson, because
definitely a doctor. You heard it. We fly with Eagles only. Dr. Eagle Richardson.
Yeah, there you go. So because the experience is so much better. Like, there's nothing that anybody can come to me about trucking that I don't really know about. And so it's like, even though I haven't been in the business that long, our business has only been open for like 4 years. I still have more experience because I am in the trenches. Like, when things weren't right, I was there. When they were right, but with those experiences, you get to learn from your mistakes. And that in that process, I'm able to tell somebody, like, girl, just don't do this. Like, and being able to tell them that, because I wish somebody would have told me that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like when you work in the experience arena, like when you're actually out here doing it, it makes everything better. You can sell yourself better when you have experience, because you know what you're talking about.
I love coaches that come from experience and not theory, because anything could come from a book. You quoting me stuff out of a book, I might as well go listen to a philosophy teacher. I might as well go read it for myself, because when you come from an experience, you telling people, listen, you either go through door 1 or door 2. If you go through door 1, this is what's gonna happen. If you go through door 2, this is what's gonna happen. All you have to do is follow the trail. But I'm literally passing you the torch. And I think a lot of times when we build in businesses, we don't think about people actually passing the torch to us, because we be having those trust issues that we talked about in the beginning of the show.
Right, definitely.
So tell us, what's your worst nightmare with government contracting or trucking? Either one.
With trucking can be a little extra. With government contracting, I don't
even do trucking content. That's how serious it is for trucking.
Trucking is serious. Like, the FMCSA is not playing with you, and they will shut your truck down for 10 hours like it's nothing. Like, who cares? You got a load on the back of your truck. I don't care. I don't care if you do need to get paid. I don't care. I don't care if you don't have nowhere for nobody to come pick your driver up and let him stay in a hotel until them 10 hours is up. They do not care. And so when it comes to trucking, I thought it was going to be so much easier to talk to drivers and stuff like that, but it's really not. It's like, with the pandemic, it made it really hard to find quality workers. And I'm glad for the ones that I got. I promise you I am, because they know the business per se. You know what I'm saying? They know the business, and they know how to go out there and do their thing, and they take pride in what they do. And so that's one of the biggest things. But when it came to government contracting, the worst part of it was getting that contract and not getting paid up front. And the biggest problem was not having the knowledge to know that I could take that note to the bank and got paid. And so that's something I did not know. And I feel like now that I know that, it's like it came from experience. Like, the bank, like, oh yeah, we would have paid you for that. Like, yeah, you would have showed us that you had a contract with this person. We would have definitely given you the money up front. But I took it the hard way, and I was paying payroll out of pocket for almost 2 months before the contract hit, before they could even really pay me on that invoice or whatever. So when I did get paid, I knew the money was coming. But as an entrepreneur, no, let me not say as an entrepreneur, as a boss, as the boss, you will get paid last. And that's the crazy part of it, is because I still had to pay those workers. They expect me to check every week, every 2 weeks. They not trying to hear me say, well, I got to wait for them to pay me, and they got to do this. As a business owner, you have to be ready to put forth that effort and say, no, I got it. Like, this is how much I've set for.
I just had to go through a situation like that. And that's big, because a lot of times people not willing to put other people's needs before their own. And as a boss, that's one of the things you have to learn early. Like, my team got to be straight. Households are depending on my business. I cannot, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't just leave them hanging, because they're dependent on me. They trust me as the business owner, the boss, as the CEO of this company. I'm representing their household. You can't go to Walmart, work 2 weeks, and don't get paid. Like, it's not.
Let me tell you something. Payroll's so stressful. Like, it's not even that payroll is stressful. It's the idea of, are we making enough money so I can make payroll? You know what I'm saying? Like, and making sure, and girl, it's a good thing when you own payroll yourself. But that week when you don't get to pay yourself, girl, that's a long week. when you decide, you know what, it's better for me not to pay myself this week, and I need to make sure I take care of these things to make sure that we good. Because in that process of me not getting paid for 2 months, I didn't pay myself because I wanted to make sure I had enough funds to cover payroll.
Cover everybody else.
Now,
right.
when they paid, now I got my cut, but you know,
but
still
you were set up for that though. Like you still have to be set up to say, okay, I'm not going to receive any income for 2 months until I get this check cut. Like and most people can't do that.
No, and being able on my personal side to say that I'm okay still. You know what I'm saying? Being able to still be okay. Like, I'm okay, girl. We had just finished tax season. I was okay. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say, like, it's all about, we always call it, when I was in insurance, they used to call it vehicle. It's a vehicle. Everything is a vehicle. And that's what I have done. I went from Snatch Me Baby in that car and drove me slam over here. And I'm just like, girl, where are you? How you getting here? And it's like I've been having all these vehicles that can take me where I want to go. And those are the kinds of things. That's why I say insurance has sculpted me and got me ready for the entrepreneurial world. Entrepreneurial world, and didn't even know it.
Right. I think that most of the time when you get into entrepreneurship, you don't think that you're going to be doing this for 10 years. Like, even when people, this is what I'm going to be for the next 30 years. Nobody ain't looking 30 years into the future to see what path they're going to take or what they're going to be doing. Like, they either know, yeah, I like this, so I'm doing this for the money. It's one of the two things. Like I said, Dora, one of the sites plans about that. But when you come into entrepreneurship, you have to know that the product or service that you're presenting to the world, whether it's been done before or not, you have a unique. Both of us do taxes, both of us do trucking. I'm about to get on that government contract. Y'all stay tuned.
Yeah,
right.
Dricka, I love you. I love you out there.
So, like, just think about all of the things that we're doing for ourselves, for our own from day one. What's my purpose? What's my mission? What's my vision? Like, what's my story? I used to tell people, I don't have no story. And it's like, you have a story, just not telling it. Like, my coach storytelling academy. And I'm like, I really don't have a story. Like, I just be living. I'm just,
girl, I wish.
I know you have a story. Like, you gotta talk about you being a teen mom. You gotta talk about you being a single mom. You gotta talk about you finally getting married and running the businesses and impacting the lives. Story.
And it's crazy because the stuff that we be taking for granted, like, you know, we be thinking, we don't do the trenches, we done did this, we done did that. We think, like, oh my God, that just motivated me. I'm like, for real. Like, girl, I was sad. I was broke, like, broke and broken. Like, I don't know if I want to talk about it. Like, yeah, like, I'm trying to be happy over here. I ain't trying to get nobody crying or nothing. It's
I'm
like,
still writing my story. It's a good book, not one of those, not a tell-all.
Yeah. But I think that I consider myself a pivot. I love the pivot. I call myself a pivot queen because I'm a pivot. Once the money run out, I'm gonna be somewhere else. And once I find another place to get the money from that does not require a tax office, but with government contracting, I was able to do the same amount of money for 10 hours a week. Less time. You know what I'm saying? 10 hours a week compared to October through April was a little crazy. You know what I'm saying? You working every day. I was working every day from October to April. Training, coaching the letter, you going hard every day until April the 15th. And
you going hard and you coaching.
Yes. And so with trucking, it's like I ain't have to do none of that. Like, you know, I make sure the guys get paid. They might have a few questions here or there. 10 hours tops in a 1 week, and you're gonna get paid. I'm getting paid the same amount of money. And I was just like, that's crazy. So it's like I find myself pivoting to find more freedom. the more I pivot, the more freedom I find. It's like I just got to get back to the basics and realizing what I want and how I want it done. And I feel like with entrepreneurship, you can dream a little bit more. I ain't worried about my boss asking me 99 questions, telling me I can't take a day off. I need a self-care day. I just take it. Like, girl, close my calendar for the whole week. The week, shut the whole calendar down.
Close it. What do I have something today? Okay, so nothing else after this. Okay, because it's just time. Like I feel like we devote ourselves to so many different things, and I'm over being an entrepreneur. Like I'm so over it. I'm not doing it anymore. Like I might talk about the different businesses that I'm involved in, but I'm not materially invested in nothing every single day except for doing taxes. And for the most part, I'm trying to restructure that. Like I even want that to be where, like how you started, the guy just oversees the returns and send it through. Like I'm not trying to sit down and do 10,000 returns to say I'm the best. I know I'm the best. I've done over 10,000 returns during my tenure. Like I know what I'm doing when it comes down to taxes, helping people with resolution, helping people, combat these tax bills, understanding taxes. Get caught up on their taxes, understand how to do returns from a transcript. Like, they change the transcript. So like we used to have it so good in our industry, and I don't think that people understand, like, the more that we're getting through taxes, the more that they're changing things up. That's why you gotta make sure that you keep on going to continual education classes and going to these events and these retreats, because they're changing things up right under your nose. So the things that somebody teaching you from a pre-recorded video 2-3 years ago is not relevant to this tax season. It's not relevant. Like, you can't keep on putting certain forms on and people take it. We could get into it, but
it's get crazy. I'm gonna be at the IRS forum. I'm going to LA I'm going to California for that IRS forum this year.
Oh, I'm going to one in Vegas.
What? When is the one in Vegas?
July 10th to the 14th.
Oh yeah, I'll be there in August. It'll be all right. We'll see each other again, but we're gonna see each other in Canada, so I ain't even mad.
Okay. Speaking of Canada, what you bring to the table this year? Because I don't think people have heard you speak before, but Coach Rich is a phenomenal speaker, teacher, influencer. She's a little shy, but she gets it in. Like, let people know what you bring to the table.
Yes, I'm bringing me, girl. I am bringing myself, girl, and I cannot wait to just talk to people about that transition in trucking and how trucking ain't like it was when we first started trucking. But when you can take trucking and you can put it into stuff, and you start putting it into things like government contracting, where you can give yourself a more consistency, you can that is going to be, you ain't got to worry about where it's coming from. I mean, you put yourself out there to get you a 5-year contract. Now you locked in for 5 years. You ain't going nowhere. You gotta do something strange to get that time. Other ways to get this money. Like, you don't necessarily have to be the person driving the truck. I don't even have a CDL, but I make good money from trucking. I don't have a CDL. I don't even know if my truck broke down right now. I can't even drive it. Well, I could probably move it a little bit. I might even be able to back up a little bit, but I don't have that expertise to do that, nor do I desire to have my CDL. And so for me, it's more of, I'm really good at delegating. Hey, I'm going to make sure that everything is done, and I'm willing to go ahead and pay you on time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you just got to kind of find your strength. Now, my strength was not driving, because as soon as it turned dark outside, I'm ready to go to sleep. So that's not it. So
when it turned dark, I can't even see, so that's out.
It's over. You know what I'm saying? So being able to put yourself in that place where you can hire those drivers, you just making sure that compliance is key. And so I feel like coming into the Wealth Development Summit is gonna be huge. Being able to bring stream that can definitely help you and show you guide the way, and then being able to.
I know y'all intrigued, y'all, because truck minimum 2 years, so it had to be at least 3-4 years. Because 2 years ago we took the
it was 4 years.
And 1 year later, I can't put it up on here, but we literally made like 87 on quarter capital trucking.
Yes.
Within 1 year.
Yes, it's crazy because there's like in trucking, there's no reason that you can make 6 figures easy with trucking. Even with the box trucks, when we were doing Ashley Furniture, 125,000 easy. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing to make that money, and I don't even think that we had worked the whole $125,000 easy just doing Ashley Furniture. Of course, we got expenses and stuff like that, but it was good money.
Right.
The same situation, if I were to take a box truck and put it into government contracting, now you're looking at $1 million. Exactly. With a semi, you're looking at $1 million, and you get to collaborate with other people because you might get a contract that's requiring 5 trucks. Well, if I need 5 trucks, I ain't got 5 trucks, but I know 5 people because I be teaching people how to do trucking. I know 5 people that are trucking that might want something that's more dedicated, where they can actually get paid on time, you know, and not have to be out here on the low board trying to find dedicated work, got to do this, got to do that. You know, it kind of puts those kinds of things in perspective. So it's like you just got to get out there and get to know people. But I'm gonna bring the South girl. I cannot wait. I already got my outfits lined up and everything. I'm ready.
I'm glad. I can't wait till
you ain't gonna owe me nothing.
It's gonna be lit, y'all. You know, we first of all we had a time just bringing a group together. The vibe check.
Yes. I'm in love. I'm like, oh my god, I could do this again. Like, I could do it again.
Of course, until we all get there. But so all right, let's pivot so I can let you go. I know you're a busy woman. Got to get back to your day, y'all. Happy Wednesday. Make sure y'all follow Coach X Rich and Dricka M. Carter on Convos on all platforms. All right. So now we're gonna pivot into the game. Y'all, this okay. Make sure y'all, if you're listening or watching live, go ahead and put in the comments as well. We're gonna play this or that. So the concept of this or that, Charlene, is you have to be decisive, right? We all know as entrepreneurs, sometimes we can be indecisive. We don't even know what we want to eat. Like we just like, wait, what are we doing today? I don't know what you want to do. So yeah, it's one of those. It gotta be fast. I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions, and you gotta choose one or the other. Okay. Whatever comes to your mind.
Okay.
No explanation.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
All right.
All right, so the first one is podcast or playlist?
Playlist.
Slides or hills?
Slides.
Beef or pork?
Beef.
Swimming pool or beach?
Ooh, both. I'm gonna say beach. Beach.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Winter or summer?
Summer.
Sweet or savory?
Sweet.
City or country?
Country. Always.
Cash or cards?
Cash.
Cash rules everything around.
Cash rules everything. Run me my money. Don't send me nothing. Let me get that.
Chips or soda? Chips or cookies?
I'm gonna say cookies.
Soda or juice?
Juice.
Farm or city?
City.
Text or call?
Text.
Text or FaceTime?
Text.
New phone or new clothes?
New clothes.
Black or white?
Just black. Everything look good in black.
Everything better in black.
Everything.
You want to be a driver or you passenger seat princess?
Passenger.
Laptop or tablet?
Laptop.
You're a laptop person. I'm a phone person. Comedy or horror?
Comedy.
Beer or wine?
Wine.
Date night or Netflix and chill?
Date night.
Movie or TV shows?
Movie.
Android or Apple?
Apple. You went off with that one.
Pancakes or waffles?
Pancakes.
Rain or snow?
Rain.
Love or money?
Love.
Ice or fire?
Fire.
Now you got dreads now, so I don't know about this one. Curly or straight? I love a bust down middle.
Girl, that's me, girl. I love a bust down. I was gonna bust mine down this morning, but I was like, you know what? You doing too much. But yeah, I would say that I like straight.
Bust down middle, y'all see that?
Mm-hmm.
It's my go-to. Cars or trucks?
Cars.
Weekends or weekdays?
Weekends.
Lunch or dinner?
Dinner.
Family or friends?
Family.
Of course.
You created them.
Facebook or Instagram?
Facebook, unfortunately. Everybody be like, why you don't like Instagram? I'm like, I don't know them people over there. It's crazy, because I really be feeling like that about Instagram. They give me so much love on Instagram. They do. They will if I really promote over there.
But see, I think that's
like
one of the things we
just
talked about last time. It was like mastering one social media platform. Like you ain't gotta be all over every one of them. It's just like catch me on Facebook or catch me on Facebook. I'm like famous. Like I got 7,000 something people.
Right. You can't tell me I'm not famous on Facebook.
Is all my cousins, right? Like cousin, but Instagram is like, what's up, y'all? I'm just popping out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like I'm more consistent on Instagram, but all my love comes from Facebook.
Mm-hmm. It's like it's more people that you really know. I feel like with Instagram, it's like so many people up there, and like it's a lot of people looking to say something to you, but that you don't really know. Mm-hmm. But the people that's on Facebook, it's like, you know, my mama friends and stuff. Like I don't even know why they, you know,
church members.
Like church, everybody there, my cousin and them. You know what I'm saying? Like if this post can't reach 100 likes, then something ain't right here. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Y'all hating. I'm just.
Y'all just hating on me. Like now, I expect this from Instagram, not over here. I don't know. LinkedIn is coming through now. Like I like LinkedIn.
LinkedIn be giving me all the business clientele, and I'm in Forbes Black, so now like all my Forbes Black people follow me on LinkedIn. So I'm like, okay, network.
Okay.
So Charlene, tell everybody where to follow you at, how they can connect with you, or get into one of your new upcoming classes or programs.
My name is Charlene Richardson on Facebook, and then I am Coached by Rich on Instagram. Definitely feel free. The links are always in the bio. Feel free to reach out to me. The website is there if you need something. There is a discovery call there. I want to do a disclaimer on the discovery call. It is a discovery call. This is not an opportunity for you to ask me a bunch of questions, but an opportunity for me to answer to find out where I need to put you at. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I get a lot of people that want to do a consultation thinking that my discovery call is that. Y'all come through, see me, let me know I am the realest person you go meet. Okay. I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to keep it real with you. But come through, check me out, and follow me. Don't forget to hit the follow button. I need more followers, as many followers as I can possibly get. I need to get paid somewhere in here. Looking for another story.
Make sure y'all follow Coach Rich is in the comments, of course. And thank you so much again, Charlene. I love talking to you. You just a vibe. You always vibe.
Thank you, Dricka.
I appreciate you so much. Thank y'all for listening and tuning in to another episode of Convos. Make sure y'all watch or listen, and be sure to subscribe on all platforms. Convos Podcast. We out.